Hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're not. There it is. I knew I could do it. Yeah. Thankful. Oops. Sorry. Filling up the sink with things. Oh, we had a coffee malfunction this morning. Worst, right? Our coffee goes on automatic brew, so we fill it up the night before, and then, we put it on auto delay or whatever that thing is. The coffee pot wasn't in all the way, like on the thing. And so it brewed and it spilled everywhere. So bonus, counters are wiped down. Not so much a bonus, has been used my good towel, one of my good ones. It is now coffee stained peaches, but that's okay. The kitchen towels, they're bound to get dirty, right? And he cleaned it up, so can I really complain? I didn't have to do it. He cleaned it up. And he brewed fresh coffee for me, which is why we're here in this weird little angle corner. I need some more coffee. I've gone on a walk. Welcome back to I think we're in week 8. We only have like 2.5 weeks left. No, I don't normally pour my coffee this high up, but I don't know. The camera makes you do funny things. So we are going to start week 8, I believe. We have like 2.5 weeks left of this 75 reset. And I was pondering this morning because I went for a walk, doing good. Went for my walk this morning. I didn't want to, still not wanting to, still finding it most mornings. Not racing and yes, going out for that walk, even though today was lovely. Wasn't too hot. Wasn't too cold yet. It was a great morning. Once I got going, I felt like the endorphins hitting in and I was happy and smiling, and then I started seeing some of the regulars that I see when you go walking. People who walk at regular time, let me know if you know what I'm talking about, or you pass the other regulars that are walking. I don't know their names. I don't know anything about their life. I just know that every morning I see them and I say, hey, good morning. And when I don't see them for a few days, I'm like, wonder what happened to them. I personally, I don't know, you could think this is weird, but I personally will say a quiet prayer that, Jesus, you know where they're at. I hope they're okay. But anyways, going off on a tangent. I went for my walk, and then let's sit down with this coffee, shall we? I decided to come in, never mind the broom in the background. I don't even know what I was saying. So we went for a walk. I came in, I was talking with my kids. They were already up. One, I'm sure maybe in the background it's picking up, is getting some lawn work done, which is great because like I said, today's a great morning for it. It's kind of we've got a couple of clouds floating through. So, and then the other two, having a rough start to starting homeschool, but because we do 1 to 2 subjects throughout the summer just to keep us on track. But that's more life things. I don't know if anyways, it's part of our life. So I think they're supposed to be finishing that up, but not happening. Here's what I'm figuring out though. 75 reset was a great thing to do. I've said it before, but I would not have survived a 75 hard or a 75 soft, because the reset, you have to start the starting over from the beginning. If you miss a day on anything, would have wrecked me. And then mentally, I think I would have been like, nope, not doing it, which is why 75 hard is seen as, a lot of people I think see it as a fitness challenge, but it's really a mental challenge. As I think that when I was reading it and looking into the whys of it, he created it, yes, for you to be strong physically, but it was a mental resiliency type challenge. And one day I think I'd like to do it, but not currently, not in this season. So anyways, again, I digress. The habits are clicking in though. Even though I didn't feel like going for a walk today, I was like, it's Monday though, and I'm still gonna go for a walk. I'm still gonna get my butt out there. I'm gonna get some sunshine while there's sunshine to be had. Because those winter months will come on us so quick. I don't have a game plan for winter. I probably should, but I'm not gonna start planning for that yet. I'm just going to keep building the habits that I have now. So walking has definitely become a habit. Walking outside has become a habit so that I can get those 15 minutes in. On the weekends, I noticed that I do need rest because the weeks have been tough. There's just been one thing after another, and it's been long weeks, but I'm sure everybody can feel like that. Just by the end of your work week, you're like, yes, I have worked this week, and it's tiring. I definitely am enjoying taking a full rest day, but I noticed that either if I take a full rest day Saturday, like on Sunday, I'm antsy to start moving a little bit more, and vice versa. So I notice that my body is wanting to move more. It's getting used to doing that, which is fantastic. Also, like my kids are becoming in the habit knowing that mom goes for a walk and things like that, and so they'll check in and they'll be like, are you going for your walk today? Did you already go for your walk? Which is another layer of accountability, and that's great. Just building those healthy habits and having my kids see that. We've started doing a couple times, we'll like take the younger two out for a walk as well, and that's been fun. Definitely not, I don't take them for as long as I'm walking or when I go first thing in the morning, because that's kind of like mom minute to go walk and have a minute to breathe. I do walk once a week with a friend. That's been working out well. We've done this just for like 2 or 3 weeks now. It started as part of my reaching out to a friend once a week, making meaningful connections. My oldest is coming in and out of the house, but we're just gonna keep going with it. It had turned into this lovely once a week walking, and so that was great. I have noticed reaching out that connection with a friend at least once a week. God has just been so good in these last couple of weeks. He's giving me a deep, meaningful conversation with a friend that I hadn't talked to for like a year, and then a cousin that I hadn't like reached out. Just, it feels randomly, but I feel like those are kind of just little, what I call God winks, where he's like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's been fun. So I have been connecting. Last week I didn't get measurements or pictures in. I didn't get it done. So this week for sure we're gonna get that done. And then I have noticed that the hardest habit to start building has been my meals. I've just kind of been flying by the seat of my pants, and that is where I'm feeling the burnout, is that every day I'm trying, at least Monday through Friday, I'm trying to track and hit these macros and play these games, and there's like a lot of decisions that go into it and a lot of mind figuring out. And then when you're dealing with just life being lifey and trying to prep homeschool and all these other things, like that is one thing I can take off my plate. So the end of last week, if you saw that, I did sit down with my husband and I was like, what do you need for meals? Because he was in a position as well where I usually try to have him make some lunches and have him prepped, but his work was being worky, and he didn't have access to have his lunches prepared. It was just a transitional period. So we're back, I think, on track where he's like, yep, I'm ready for you to start prepping meals again. And so I just think me at least prepping breakfast and lunch for myself will be helpful. I do want to just try to have family dinners for the most night, whatever my family is having. So I know I would lose weight faster if I ate separate, tracked all the macros all the way across, but for right now, I think just getting on track with prepping food for breakfast and then lunch for me, and then lunch for my husband as well, but will be a good start. So that's the plan for today. We're gonna try to prep some meals, and I have to go to the grocery store and get a couple of small things, and then get to prepping so that we can take that off the plate and start building that habit in the last 2.5 weeks here. Okay, I know it is loud in the background, but I wanted to kind of share how I'm gonna go about with the meal planning and prepping for this week, or what the game plan is what I should say, what the hope is, because this is literally the hope, but let's see if we can actually stick to the budget, not find extra things at the store, just get what we need to get and get home. The way that I try to estimate what I need and kind of make my grocery list is on my phone. I have like the grocery store apps, the ones that are nearest to us. So for today, we're gonna hit up Walmart, and I have in my Walmart cart, I will start adding things like if I was gonna do a pickup, a grocery pickup or delivery. I've actually never, oh wait, I take that back. I think like 4 or 5 years ago, I did a grocery delivery. But anyways, I was gonna say I've never done a grocery delivery, but I'm lying to you. I did one like years ago. Anyways, that has nothing to do with anything. I go ahead and I add in the things that I think we're gonna need, and that works as my list. So today we need to grab some coffee creamer. We're gonna get some Greek yogurt because everybody in the house seems to love that. I was gonna do a Walmart run for Greek yogurt, but I decided that's not a Walmart. I was gonna do a Costco run for Greek yogurt because that's typically where I get it, but I know myself, if I go into Costco, I will not leave with just Greek yogurt. So for this week, I'm going to just try to get a couple from Walmart. So we've got those on the list. I went ahead and I added kimchi. I'm gonna see if we can find some there. My husband and I really like that, and I have not been making our ferments, and we like it, and it's easy. So we're gonna press the easy route and not make it and buy it. So I'm gonna put that on my list and check out the ingredients there. It says that it's shelf stable, which is, I don't know if they put anything in it to make it shelf stable. So I'm gonna take a look at that when I get to the store. Onions, cabbage, just the things that we need. So I put that in there, and then hopefully, like I said, we can stick to it. Now my estimated total right now is showing $80.81, but that's because I have a couple of things that are not a necessity for this week. There's stuff that needs to be shipped. So like my records, my small records, not all of them have a cover. And so I put that on like the shipping, and I'll just leave it there until our shipment hits the $35 that you need for free shipping. We scroll down at the bottom, it'll show you like my in-store subtotal, what it's coming up to. So right now it's coming up to $57.02, not the $80.81. So that is what we're gonna try to hit as close as possible when we get to the store. And then hopefully we will have enough energy when we get home to actually do the meal prepping. I did go ahead, sorry, no, cut my head off here. I did go ahead and take out, I went to the deep freezer, and we had 2 loaves of bread. One was store-bought and one was homemade. So I took out the store-bought loaf of bread because I think that one is actually older. And then that way my kids could do sandwiches at some point for snacks or for lunch this week. And then I took out ground beef for dinner tonight, and I took out, we had chicken in there as well, and that will be for a dinner, family dinner, another day this week. But I thought if I could get the chicken cooked today, it'll make tomorrow's dinner that much easier. If I had really, really been on the ball, I would have taken it out Sunday night, put it in the fridge to start defrosting. But I mean, better than never, right? So we've got that defrosting. Sometimes like I'm already feeling drained. And then sometimes when I go out and about and then I come back, I'm like even more drained. I don't know what it is. I really, this tiredness has got to go, but it has been the battle. It's kind of what was the kickoff to the 75 reset, is that I could not shake this tiredness. So I'm gonna finish my coffee and then we'll go to the store. I'm back. We ended up having to go to Albertsons as well, but I'll break it down for you right now. I took the kids, which always ends up being spending a little bit more. We went in, and I think I showed you, they had their notebooks that were on sale, so I let everybody grab one composition and one spiral notebook. We could use them for school. They mostly use them for journals and writing and just scratch pads. So I let everybody grab, like I said, my 3 kiddos each got a spiral and a composition notebook, and then mom got a composition notebook. And then this was on the list. I need some notebooks, smaller type ones to throw into my bag. And so they have 3 of these like small type ones. There's the measurements if you want to see exactly. And then, so I grabbed those. Yogurt was on the list, but not this many. So I did have 2 vanilla Greek yogurts on the list. The one that wasn't on the list is this one. My youngest was looking at the flavors, and it was a whole thing, and sometimes it's just easier to say go ahead than fight the battle. So we got Greek yogurt. We do go through quite a bit. The kids will snack on them, and I didn't want to go to Costco, so I grabbed that. I grabbed, this is not on the list, but this Bold House blue cheese, because I want to set out veggies, and I think we're kind of running low on the blue cheese. I think I added this to the list last minute. I needed coffee creamer, so I grabbed that. Ground turkey, that was on the list, as were these little disposable cups. My husband wants to take like some salsa with the burrito bowls, and so we just thought these would be the easiest for him. Crispy jalapenos. Then we were trying to get, they didn't have organic cabbage at Walmart, so we stopped over at Albertsons. They also didn't have organic purple onions, so I grabbed one from Albertsons. And then I was going to grab one of the bags that has like the mixed veggies. I think it comes with carrots, cauliflower, and broccoli, but it was a tiny bag. The ones at not Costco, the ones at Walmart looked really bad, like they were already browning and yucky. And then the ones at Albertsons were like $6, and it was the tiniest bag. So I just went ahead and I bought a head of cauliflower. I bought carrots, and then I ended up getting this instead of broccoli because my daughter loves these mini bell peppers. And so this is kind of, we'll just lay it out. The plan is to just lay out the veggies. Like there's this point in the day right before dinner where everybody's hungry, dinner's not quite prepped yet, or it's just a smidge too early for dinner, and they want to keep snacking. These are clean. It just, I don't know why they didn't get put away. They want to start snacking, and I don't want them necessarily snacking right before dinner, so I will lay out, I used to lay out some veggies, like a little veggie tray, and then they could snack on it. We haven't done that for a while, and so I think we need to get back to that. So that's what that plan is for. Also just for me, just to kind of, I know if we have it fresh and ready to roll, I'll eat it more. I am starving now. I'm not starving. I'm just very, very hungry. It is almost 1 o'clock and I didn't eat before I left. This is what I'm saying, like the food thing is, I'm not doing a good job at all with this. So thankfully, I have some leftover cooked chicken. One of the meals that I was gonna prep was this like fake, we call it fake jambalaya or fake gumbo. It's because it's just sausage, chicken, and peppers, and we're gonna throw that all in a pot with some tomatoes, and it's fairly high in protein. The sausage does add some fat to it, so this is 16 grams of fat per link. So 16 grams of fat per link, so that's gonna add quite a bit. But then we're gonna put in the chicken and, like I said, the rest of the stuff, and then I'm gonna have that today because I'm so hungry. So we're gonna do that. Also, I bought the kids, I think I forgot to mention in the little haul there that I bought the kids, they love the deli sections in the stores, and so they had like a chicken sandwich and that kind of stuff. We each grabbed a sandwich, a hot sandwich from the deli, and I said that was fine because we were running a little later than usual. Than predicted. It took us longer to get out of the house, and then it took us, like, we stopped at the library, and then we stopped to get gas, and then we hit the stores. So that's where we're at today. I'm gonna wash my hands, put away groceries, and then get to finish prepping. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I've got all 4 sausages, and I'm just gonna cut them up, put them in the pan. To the side here, I have the 3 pounds of ground turkey I just bought, and I'm going to start cooking that up as well. I have some homemade jerk seasoning. I know I used to have Cajun seasoning. Looks like we're out, so this is what we're gonna use. I'm just gonna kind of season that, and then I'm going to, should have dumped the chicken in first and then seasoned, but I think the chicken will pick up the seasoning down here. This is a lot. I put in, that ended up being 344 grams of cooked chicken. So different weight than raw chicken. Just be mindful of that. I'm just eyeballing. I'm just gonna let that simmer up a little bit, and then I'll season this. I'm gonna do just a generic seasoning, or what is generic for our home, which is just garlic. If we have fresh garlic, I'll put fresh garlic in, but right now I don't, so I'm just gonna do a buttload of powdered garlic, cumin, onion powder, and know if I wanna put anything else in there. Maybe a little bit of oregano. Since it is ground turkey, I'm gonna do just a little bit of salt as well. And then I feel like I'm gonna use about 1.5 pounds, I'm guessing, for the burrito bowls type situation. Oh look, I had homemade taco seasoning right here. I totally could have used that too. That'll be good for now. I'm gonna use that and cook it up, and then I think I am going, I don't think I'm gonna use all of it for the burrito bowls, which is why I was leaning towards a more generic type seasoning. Maybe I'll use half, and the other half I can either freeze already cooked, and that way we have cooked ground turkey in the freezer, which is always a dinner help. Or actually, because our meat is still not thawed out, I think we'll use the other 1.5 for dinner tonight. And then I'll put the meat in the fridge for later this week. I added in about 179 grams of frozen bell pepper that I had in the freezer, and then I'm going to add in this can of diced tomatoes with the juice. So I went ahead and I added about a cup of water to this. Sometimes I'll add broth if I have it on hand, and then I will also add like quinoa in here or quinoa and brown rice if we have it, whatever we have. I do have a little bit left over already cooked quinoa and white rice that I was going to add in, but I think I'm just going to leave it like this. And if I divide it into 8 servings, which is really, there's a lot of chicken, and I think that's what upped it. But if I just put it all in, and then I put it into MyFitnessPal, and if, not MyFitnessPal, this is macros first, but if I divide it into 8 servings, it came out to 20 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and 9 grams of fat. So I can either serve it with rice when I want to eat it, or I could have it with tortilla chips. So it gives you a little bit of wiggle room with that. When I eat it, I'll probably put a little bit of hot sauce in it. Today, I think I'm going to have some because I'm so hungry and I haven't eaten anything. I just have my collagen and creamer, and so I need to eat. So I think I'm going to have it with chips today. And then the ground turkey is still just chugging along, and we'll come back to that later. Okay, we're done meal prepping for today, and I did take an easy route, and I used canned corn and canned beans. These black containers, these ones here, are my husband's. I went ahead and divided up. This is like 1 serving, so it's pretty small. These containers, these meal prep containers, are smaller than the average ones. But because there was so much leftover chicken that I threw in there, it packs a wallop. I think it's still the 30 grams or whatever of protein. So there's kind of a lot in there. So I did 2 containers for me, and then I just split what was left over for my husband because he can eat more, definitely. And then we had some leftover quinoa and rice. So I just split that up and give that to him. And then for this one, there is rice in here. You just can hardly see it. It's kind of in here somewhere. And then black beans, ground turkey, corn. So I made him some of those. I made him 3 of those, and then I made 2 for me, but I used cauliflower rice that I had riced and froze in for myself, and then mine was weighed. His are not weighed out. I did end up using like a bag of instant rice. We had like instant quinoa rice that I had on hand because I'm tired. I'm tired, and I was tired enough that I went ahead and I made another cup of coffee. I don't usually have an afternoon like fully caffeinated coffee, but today we're gonna have it. I may end up regretting it though because it's already 4:30 and I don't want to be up I don't think I'll be up all night. I don't know. My sleep's kind of crazy. Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. So that's the meal prep that's going to get done today. I still need to cut up the cabbage because I'd like to have cabbage to go along with it. And then maybe like red onion. But for now, I think that's going to do. I'm letting it finish cooling down. I'm going to wrap them up. And then dinner tonight, we're going to use, I don't know if we're going to use the leftover ground turkey or if I'm going to end up using, we still have a tiny bit of leftover chicken. If we don't use that leftover chicken, I'm going to throw that leftover chicken into the freezer. I don't know how many times I can say chicken in this segment. Okay, just wanted to finish showing you what meal prep got done. And we're off to a good start to the week. Okay, it is several weeks later, and I was editing the video and realized I never gave you an outro, so here we go. Week 8 is where I completely dropped the ball, is where I want to say I dropped the ball, but is where I called it, and I was like, I think we're good, and there were other things in life that I was focusing on, and I knew I was just kind of not even really going through the motions. I just needed to put full concentration into other things. We had, towards the end especially, started picking up with doctor appointments and tests and labs and things like that, and that is just where my full force of attention went into. What did I learn from this? One, I didn't lose any weight. So that's always a big thing when you do, I think, these like fitness type 75-day challenges. Now granted, this was a 75-day reset, so I was trying to build healthy habits at the time, which is ironic at the time because I'm sick. I have a little bit of a cold that is just like lingering and won't quit. Healthy habits. Did I pick some up? Yes, I did. Did I let some go? Absolutely. I am not reading 10 pages of nonfiction, but I have started back up with a couple more Bible studies. Like those are all back in swing. And so I have a couple that are going on, and I just kind of, that's where my like nonfiction pages are going. I have slowed down on the walking in the morning, especially though the past couple weeks because I've not felt well and I just haven't had the energy or the breath to do it. And so, but that is something that I hope to pick back up again when I am able to. Did I lose any weight? No, but I did learn a couple of things about me in the testing and things like that. One, I kind of already knew this, but my stress levels are like on perma high. Like they're at a constant, like, yeah, it's not the best. So I could do with some figuring out how to stress less and how to make that a really manageable thing in life. That's a tough one. As a mom, as a wife, as a special needs mom, like, in all honesty and transparency, I don't know exactly how to do this tangibly, how to let go of stress. It all sounds great when they're like, you need to stress less, you need to find more time for you. Like that's gonna be our next season and our next, I guess, challenge is how we're gonna do that. So I did pick up some good habits. I did take a good look and kind of reset. I think it was good for me to do a habit reset, and I think I will carry some of those things forward. But I don't know that I'm going to do another 75, jump into another 75 right now. Right now, I think my focus is going to be on first getting well and getting our house sort of in order as much as we can. I'm sure the kids' voices are traveling upstairs. So we are in the beginning of holidays season, but also homeschooling, and I have been itching to declutter and get stuff on. So we're gonna do that, plus trying to manage stress levels and all of the things. So I hope you stick around. I hope you hit the subscribe button. And I hope that you've enjoyed hanging out with me these last 8 weeks or so. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you taking your time out and spending it here with me.